Contrast uncut, yeah, you know that's us. Where we only speak the real and the real rock with us. Where we motivate the people and politic on success. Oh no, we ain't DJ Khaled, but they swearing we the best.
What's happening? It's Contrast Uncut. It's season 5. This is my spotlight episode, JetDoc edition. I want to give a huge shout out to Uncle Snoop's Army and Bobby D Presents. I appreciate you, brothers. It's your host, Xylo, and today we have an incredibly legendary and dope special guest. You know, he's from the Dirty D. I'm talking about Detroit, Michigan. He is a world-renowned and celebrated CEO and founder of JetDoc. He is a generational healthcare entrepreneur and digital health leader with a passion for improving the healthcare system and health outcome for underserved and at-risk populations. This brother has a master's from Harvard Business School that established a standard of excellence that he propelled into his career. He restored his family name and legacy while making healthcare affordable and accessible. That is something that we all wish for and we all pray for. Is something that we can be able to grab and hold and make a difference in our life. And health is wealth, and you establish that with a nice courtesy to everyone coming out with no money.
That's right.
And that's a blessing. And from all of that, you know, we've been able to grow with you and continue to see exactly what you have going on because you're putting the spotlight where we need it to be. Mm-hmm. And if you ain't know who I got on the show by now, it's all good. We got all episode to chop it up with the man. I'm talking about the king of bringing wealth to the culture through better health. I'm talking about the MJ of healthcare, the expert, the real deal Holyfield. We got Tommy Duncan right here. You hear me? How you doing, King?
Oh, well, man. I appreciate that intro.
Oh, yeah.
Love that.
Oh, all love, bro. It's an honor to be right here. You know, if you ain't know where I'm at, it's some hills behind me. It's some views. It's some views Drake rap about. We right here. You understand?
Yeah. It's a long way from Detroit.
Oh, yeah. Big, long way. My family's actually from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
All right. Not too far.
Yeah, they started at 3rd Street Bank. And 3rd Street...
Fifth Third Bank?
They merged with 5th Third.
Whoa!
And yeah, that's my family that started that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
My great-grandfather had... he went to law school and became a judge for the Native Americans.
Okay.
And if you know anything about Grand Rapids, it's Native American thriving.
Yeah.
He used to pretty much be the judge for the Native Americans, and they taught him which trees to cut down.
Okay.
And then back in the day, Chicago caught on fire. Mm-hmm. My great-grandfather knew all the trees to cut down. They rebuilt Chicago, and Grand Rapids became the furniture capital of the world.
I had no idea. No, that's a great story, because Grand Rapids is on the other side of the state from Detroit. So I've been out there a few times, but it's different. It's not like it's a suburb.
Yeah, no, I learned that my great-grandfather married Amelia Kent, and her family was the Kent Country Club in the Kent County.
Okay, yeah, I know Kent County. Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Why y'all out here?
My great-grandfather, he ended up, his sons, my grandfather, ended up getting a job for Department of Defense. So my grandfather was running the business. My great-grandfather passed away at his desk, and then my grandfather ran it. And then he got to a point where he wanted to do something else, and he got into Department of Defense and worked at the Pentagon. And my dad grew up in Michigan and moved on to Virginia, and then eventually he said, forget the world over there, I'm going to California.
Yeah. So you know I lived in D.C. for almost 7 years. Okay. After Detroit. Yeah, so I just left there, and I was there doing healthcare stuff. I did stuff for government, all in healthcare, and then sold a company to Blue Cross Blue Shield, and then moved out here. Yeah, that was last year.
So my dad, he started a cab company out here called Valley Cab, and then basically he died in 91. My dad married a Mexican woman, and the East Coast cut us off, and I grew up poor, and with all these gifts and big brain and capabilities, and just, you know, expanding, letting, you know, the spirit in the world take me to the destinations I need to arrive at.
No, it makes a lot of sense, man. I'm glad you're out here doing your thing.
Oh, yeah, no.
See, the entrepreneurial spirit comes from within. No matter where you start, it's where you're going to end up finishing.
You got to learn to put what's inside of you on you.
That's right.
And for other people to understand and register that.
Yeah, I like that. Just keep on pushing.
That's it, brother.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I know I went a little sidebar from my script, but I got to tell you from the jump how much I appreciate your time, rocking with me, rocking with the viewers and the listeners. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate this.
Absolutely. Speaking of time, what's a normal 24 hours for you?
A normal 24? It's abnormal because I'm in LA. I also have a place in Florida, which is where we launched JetDoc, initially, but then we really started to center our company, our headquarters in Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm back and forth on a weekly basis. So 24 depends. You know, like I could leave out midnight on the red eye, end up in Atlanta, 7:30 a.m. I got a full day. You know.
So when you started JetDoc, did it come across your mind you're gonna be on jets all the time?
No, man, no, not at all. You know, that'd be a good thing. And I need a jet going back from LA to Atlanta, but it's pretty pricey. I priced it. It's like $50K each way. So I got a little ways to go before I start doing that.
That makes a lot of sense why the rappers do what they do. That's none of our business.
Well, no, the other thing about it is that, see, sometimes they get expense. They're not paying the bill. You know what I mean? So I'm not hating on the rappers. I'm just saying in general, like even my last company, I built it to a point where we're doing $200 million a year in annual revenue. So $200 million in revenue, then you can expense whatever you want to expense. Right? But when I sold that, I started this company out of my pocket. So now I'm being a little more frugal with the expenses.
Now that was a mega gem. I'm talking about the diamond was so big it could have hurt your brain. Understand what he just said. Whew. He said it's coming out of my pocket, so I gotta do things a little differently. You hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, that's a beautiful thing. Cause a lot of people, they want to take from one pile and then think that one pile is gonna pay for all the piles.
Right.
And you gotta make that one pile just that one pile.
Yeah.
And then create another stream and make that pile pay for that pile.
Yeah. No, 100. So my parents, kind of like your family, were in business. So I grew up in entrepreneurship. And they had a similar company that I just sold. So it was an insurance company for government programs. So Medicaid, Medicare, in the 90s in Detroit. Ended up losing the business. We also, at one point, they had a hospital. What happened is the hospital never really had patients. But the insurance company had members and therefore revenue. Well, instead of retaining the profits from the insurance company, they put the employees, the staff, and the business into the hospital. And so they were paying all expenses of the hospital just to keep it afloat to cover these employees, which could have been in the office space at $10 a square foot.
Come on.
Instead, they're covering a $500,000 a month expense structure of the hospital because the hospital never had its own business. So what happens, Ilo, is when the insurance company went out of business, everything was lost. So the house we grew up in was lost. You know, the cars, the fur coats, the diamonds, all the excesses. When I was in high school, brother, outside of my house was a limousine. We had a stretch limo in front of the house. Didn't use it, but it was there. You know what I mean?
I can call a driver right now.
If you want
Take me to the mall.
Yeah, straight up. That was life, right? But because they mixed the two pots, when the one went under that was servicing all the pots, then they lost everything. Not only both businesses, the hospital went under, the insurance company went under, all the other businesses went under, and then all the personal wealth went under. So the house, the cars, and everything else. So yeah, you gotta be very careful about that.
Whew. And so basically at that standpoint, you had to build from the ground up.
I did, like a phoenix.
I don't want to jumping too far away because I just got a little bit of structure I want to touch with you. I got to make sure I give you your flowers for being a dedicated husband, a dedicated father. You know, one thing to live your purpose, have a sleepless dream, and another thing to provide and come home and make sure that they're good and make sure that they're comfortable. I got to take my hat off to you if I had one.
Yeah.
And let you know, brother, keep on inspiring to motivate because a lot of fathers need to have that acknowledgement that, you know, you guys are doing the right thing, even though it's supposed to be the right thing.
Right. I appreciate that. I'm big on family. So my wife, Nicole, she's over there with her friends. And yeah, I got 2 kids. My son is 11, Tommy, the 3rd, and my daughter, Sydney, is 7.
So yeah, you got it perfect made. I got my duo too, my son, my daughter. I'm done. Shut down shop.
Yeah, there we go. Bang, bang.
Yeah, 6-year-old and a 4-year-old.
Good stuff, man. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
best part of life.
Absolutely. It definitely grounds you. It allows you to understand that the end of the road can be there if you don't start making sure you continue to build that road.
Right. No question.
Legacy.
Yeah.
I got a quote. Let me know how this quote relates to you, or if it doesn't, I try to go with the spirit. And then with you, I was like, man, I got to find something about, you know what, I'm just going to go to the quote. I'm not even going to get into that. Health is the greatest gift. Contentment's the greatest wealth. Faithfulness the best relationship. Buddha.
Yeah, I agree with all that. I agree with all of it. You know, and that's one thing that my partner Rick Ross,
shout out Rose.
Yeah, the biggest boss. He talks about how he's had everything, all the excesses of life, but then he wasn't taking care of his health. And So it woke him up when he was having seizures. He ended up, on the floor and then in the hospital. He understood that health is the greatest wealth, because without it, just like Steve Jobs, right? He would be a trillionaire. But one thing he couldn't buy was what it would take to save his life. He would have paid every dollar in the world to do so.
Bob Marley told his youngest son, Ziggy, on the last day of his life, he said, you can have all the money, silver, and gold, but none of that will buy you your health.
Right.
And that's always stuck with me.
Yeah.
So I'm honored that not only am I with somebody that's changing the way health is being done and being received, but you're making the universe understand that what you guys have been doing is wrong.
Let me tell you something. Let me say it like this. The key to it is early detection. Most importantly, though, you can start now. So no matter where you are in your health condition, first of all, you should find out. So see a doctor. Go to JetDoc.com, @MyJetDoc, or go, if you have insurance and you want to go see a doctor, I encourage you to do so. If you want to go see a doctor, go to urgent care, emergency room, whatever it takes. Go find out where you are, do your lab work, see where you are, and then if you are in an unhealthy state, then start addressing it immediately. You can always fix it until you're dead. It's never too late.
Come on. Hey, there's nothing wrong going vegan, you hear me?
I tried. It's hard though, man.
Bro, they got this spot called Monty's.
Yeah.
You don't even know you're eating a fake burger.
Straight up? Yeah.
Man, I'm doing a seamless plug, but it's worth it. And it costs, it's like $14 for a double. So that costs, but it's worth it.
Monty's out here in LA?
They got like 4 locations. They got one over there by the Beverly Center.
Okay. Yeah, you put me on.
It's smacking. It's worth it.
For all y'all in Atlanta or across the country, Slutty Vegan.
You hear me?
Slutty Vegan, the best vegan joint in the world, period.
Come on.
Woman named Pinky Cole. She's founder CEO. She's a dynamic entrepreneur and visionary. Check her out. She's all over Instagram, all over everything.
Come on. Hey, that is a fact. That was the one place we did go and eat when we was in Atlanta. We did a Russ and Blast video in Atlanta about a month ago. And the only time we had time to go to was to go visit Slutty Vegan.
You got to do it.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Ooh, it was worth it. We waited an hour. Yeah. But it was worth it. You didn't even care the hour. We was just chopping it up. And so, let me get back on task. I keep on going with you, brother. Speaking of the medical field, the medical game, did the game choose you or did you choose the game?
No, it chose me. I grew up in it. Yeah, I grew up in it.
But you don't have to necessarily grow up in it and go that route. What made it where you feel like it chose you?
But I feel like you'd be a fool if you didn't.
Whew.
Don't
do something hard when it's easy for you.
It doesn't make any sense. The best decisions that I made are because of things I remember hearing when I was 11, 12 years old around the table, either during breakfast or dinner. Every big decision that I've made, not the sexiest decisions, but the ones that actually made money and saved the business at the times where it was on the brink, which happened a lot, like any business. It was just knowing, like I learned it through osmosis because I grew up in it. So if I have something where I was bred into it and I learned so much and so knowledgeable, we reduced folks that were type 2 diabetics on the verge of needing dialysis for the rest of their life or get a kidney transplant, reversing that to pre-diabetic. So anyone who's on diabetes or knows someone that is, which somebody knows somebody, you know how important it is to people's lifestyle to change that trajectory.
Come on, that's the vast.
But I enjoyed it, right? Getting people compliant on their medications. I enjoy it. What I'm doing with JetDoc, I enjoy because, we have 85% off the cost of medication. I did it. It's free of charge. It comes with the app, free of charge. There's a woman who was in Florida for the holiday, used JetDoc. And with insurance, it was going to be $350 for her rescue inhaler. She has asthma. With JetDoc, it was $150.
Wow.
Hold on, now check me out, right? Now she has insurance, but she used JetDoc because she could just look at the app. She could go on the app, which is free, and see a doctor in 2 or 3 minutes. Well, if her insurance got to get on, talk to the doctor, get on the schedule, it may take 2 weeks. But let me tell you this. She texted me 2 days ago and said, Tommy, I'm about to wait. She's in Texas right now. Till I go back to either Georgia or Florida so I can use JetDoc so I can save the $200 on my prescription. That's how dynamic the savings are. But all that's free of charge. So to me, we need to make our folks healthier by making it convenient and affordable. So you get rid of all the barriers, right? Boom, technology, see a doctor in 2 or 3 minutes. You need something, you need a script, instead of paying $400, $150. Or instead of paying $100, it may be $20. So we're just trying to make it easy for people to actually use it and take care of their health care.
Whew. Whew. I'm trying to tell you, accessibility is your greatest ability.
Yeah.
And you're trying to make it, or you are making it accessible for everybody. I know the launching points, the flagship is mainly Georgia and Florida, but I can see it all around the United States. What does it take for that to spread?
Yeah.
And then how do you guys transfer the next step and say if someone has like an ear infection, how are they going to be able to see a doctor after they go over the first consultation with their first doctor on JetDoc?
Yeah, well, see, a lot of times what happens is if it's a person or their child has an ear infection, they know what script they want. They know what it takes to resolve the issue. The problem with the healthcare system currently is that it's so inconvenient. You have to go to the doctor's office to get what you know that you need. But with JetDoc, you can answer a few questions. You talk to a doctor. You can, it's through video, and you can tell them your experience and what you think is going on. And through that dialogue, the end result may be they write the script for you, and then in the app you put in your zip code. You select your pharmacy. It'll pop right up, and you just go pick it up within an hour.
Easy, easy, easy. So, Brett, I gotta know, being in the health industry, the value of relationships are at an all-time high. Relationships will get you places money cannot. What can you explain to the viewers about the value of relationships throughout your career and how it's assisted you in those alley-oops?
Yeah, it's been everything. It's been everything. I'll break it down to a few things, right? Number one, you have to be trustworthy. But what trustworthy means is do what you say you're gonna do.
Whew, have your word.
You gotta have your word. If you say you're gonna do it, you're gonna climb a mountain, you gotta climb the mountain. And all of that is part of performance. You gotta perform. Relationships are like balance sheets. You have assets and liabilities, right? It's like a seesaw, or a scale, if you will. Well, every time someone does something for you, the scale is tipped in their favor until you repay it. Then you balance it out a little bit. What I like to do,
quid pro quo.
Yeah, well, you can do that too as long as it's not illegal. But to me, what I like to do is always have the scale and balance in my favor. So I like to perform first. I like to overperform. So when it's time for me to leverage a relationship, they know I've already done my part.
Your value's there.
My value's there. Yeah.
So many people get caught up on not delivering because they think that somebody else's ulterior motive affects their motive. Your motive is to deliver on what you say you're going to deliver.
You gotta deliver. You gotta deliver at the highest level possible. So if the average is, like my first company, the way I got the contract is I promised to do double the work for half the price.
Whew. You didn't sell yourself short. You over-delivered.
Oh yeah, I smoked. Yeah, every time. Always. But then the money will come. Everything will come and people will invest with folks that can perform. Right? It's like you bet on the Lakers. Yeah, high shot of being successful with that bet because you got LeBron James over there.
Come on.
I don't care if he goes to the Detroit Pistons, maybe they could even win, right? Because he performs. He has a history of performance. The best predictor of future performance is past results.
Whew, come on. Numbers do not lie. I always feel it's somebody that invests in an idea or puts somebody in a position. Who do we owe to thank you for investing into your career?
I have a lot of great friends. Most importantly is my mother, because she was in healthcare and she got me into it, right? So every time I'm making decisions, I'm thinking about her. She's my mentor, my mother. Beyond her, my father's been very impactful in my life. From perspective, not so much in business, even though having the energy to perform. And then I have some friends along the way.
Got you. Thank you, everybody. Everybody, because he's inspiring to motivate. I know I said that 2-3 times, but it is the truth. So I gotta know, coming from poverty-stricken neighborhoods and, myself, and I know you've hit definitely a low point, you've been able to feel that feeling. What is your understanding of how they treat the system for us in the struggle? And what I mean by that is it naivety, they're being naive, or is it negligence on their behalf?
Well, let me go at it this way. Because of the struggle, my energy has always been that everything is on the line. Like, I'm fighting for my life, right? So every decision that I make, all the work I put in is because my life is on the line.
Back against the wall.
Right. But balls to the wall, back against the wall, you just gotta go hard, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's no plan B, there's no missing, and if you do miss, you better catch it and go right back up with it.
Come on.
But because of that, because of the struggle, if you had that mentality, you always will be successful. So my thing is, I'm not that smart of a person. I've come to understand that. But what I do have is I have stick-to-itiveness. I'll just keep going. You know, let me be a wall. I just keep running until I get through the wall.
The marathon.
I just keep going. I run fast. I'll be trying to sprint. I sprint and marathon. You feel me? But what I'm saying is, you know, if you play poker or blackjack, any cards, you got to play the hand that you dealt.
Facts.
That is what it is. Some people dealt the hand where they got all aces up front. They live out here, they grew up out here, right? Some people, they got all twos. Or whatever they got. No matter what, you got to play the hand that you dealt. But as long as you play that hand and keep playing it, you'll be successful. Whew.
That was such a powerful bar. You was rapping.
I was rapping.
You was rapping.
Shout out to Rose.
You hear me?
I want to be on the next mixtape.
Come on, y'all better run that. That need to be JetDoc. That's the single. Featuring Tommy Duncan.
Hey.
You hear me? What has been your most rewarding moment so far? As we went deep into one perspective, I want to go into another site.
Let me come back to one thing real quick.
Go ahead, hit me.
I don't know if y'all chopping, but you cannot complain about the cards that you dealt. You better play them doggone cards. A lot of people I know, family and friends, have complained, I wish I had this, I wish I had that, or, you know, it's unfair. It is what it is. Just know if you keep your word, if you are trustworthy and you perform, by the end of the day, you'll get off 4 aces.
Come on. You got to take them scraps and make it into a masterpiece.
Yeah, and you really can. It happens all the time. Yeah. Usually what happens
is appreciation.
It's appreciation, but you got to put the work in. Usually you see it in entertainment and you see it in sports, right? Because people put the work in, they innovate, they push, and then they're successful, and then the money will find the talent, right? In business, it's a little more, it's not as clear, and it's hard in business because most folks don't have mentorship on how to do this,
the money.
how to do that, or how to get access to the money. But I would say perform, the money will find you. Woo.
But you be saying such incredible things. I literally lose my trace on what I'm going to say next.
I didn't answer your question. That's what happened.
No, because you said something in there that really blew me away on the fact that it is, one, very true, but two, the perception. They always think that it's going to be handed to them. They always think that these cards are going to magically reappear. Mm-hmm. No, once these cards are dealt, you got to be able to work with them. You can go all in, you can go all out, right. But you got to get back up and face it again as soon as you get something. Mm-hmm. Or you have the insanity type of mindset where you're doing the same thing over and over again. You're not recognizing what you're doing wrong.
Right.
And then from there, you recognize that you be true to yourself in the mirror. You see that reflection and that smoke goes away. You can really build with yourself.
Yeah. Any day, all day long. Even with you. I don't know you from the Man on the Moon.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? You hit me on Instagram, and I get hit on Instagram all the time. But something about it, I started looking you up, I could tell you were authentic. You had a real business going, because you've had, how many of these have you had?
Oh, this is season 5.
It's season 5, right?
Yes, sir.
Right, so you have a catalog of work, and I looked at it, right? And then even here, we hit back and forth, and I'm busy, I got things to do, I got a house full of things going on.
Facts.
All the time, right? It starts at 7 o'clock in the morning. So even though I was sitting you, it was real light. And I'm pushing like, I don't know, and see if you were gonna be persistent. You were, and you were timely, and even when I pushed you off again, you just waited, and now we're here doing this thing. So now we have a relationship.
Yes. Built the bridge, and hey, we got some nice pieces along the way.
Yeah, no, real talk.
No,
but that's what it takes.
It's a blessing.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people don't understand you got to put the work in. That's what I was going to tell you. A lot of times manifestation comes, but the prayer comes with that. But without any hard work, all that manifestation and prayer is dead.
That's right.
And so you got to go ahead and resurge yourself and arrive at these destinations you claiming to arrive at.
That's right.
People want to go ahead and make a U-turn in midair.
That's right.
And the main thing is once you arrive, it's okay to fail. A failure creates a lesson learned. A failure creates growth. Mm-hmm. But it's up to you to recognize your growth. You got to say, hey, I got to water this seed that's in the cement.
Right.
And appreciate when it does become a rose. It may take 10 years to become a rose. Mm-hmm. But if you keep on watering, you're going to see it. If you don't, you're going to be like, I should have died empty.
The other thing you can do, you keep trying to water the rose, and maybe this way water is not working. So you try this, and then you try that. So if you're going to fail, which you will, it's pretty smart to fail as fast as you possibly can.
Come on.
Just keep failing fast. Don't fail slow.
Whew. You know, it's okay to fall off something really quickly, but it's another thing to fall off slow. Because when you fall in slow, you get every emotion. Caught on camera, by the way. We can hear all those screams. Just let it happen.
Yeah.
Don't be a blocking to your blessing from something you're not supposed to have. Because what's for you is going to be there for you.
And I agree with you on, faith without works is dead. Real prayer is putting in the work. You just got to put in the work. You know, you can't be dreaming. Don't just dream. It's okay to dream, but you're dreaming too much, it means you're sleeping too much.
I made it a sleepless dream.
I love that. I like that. Sleepless dream, but working. You work.
That's it. Put the time in. You know, and then one other reflection, kids spell love T-I-M-E. They don't spell it M-O-N-E-Y.
Yeah, real talk.
And when you give that meaningful time to them, you get the fruit of your labor by seeing them grow and make a difference in the world.
Yeah, 100%. You know, my daughter's 7, so we're figuring out, what she's attracted to. My son is 11, and already he's starting his own business. So we're starting early. You know, so if he's gonna fail, he's gonna fail fast. We want to start now.
So what's his business?
It's dope. I can't even tell you the whole thing.
Oh, it's not launched. It's not launched.
Nah, it's an app, but I'll tell you about it. I'm gonna let him get it going first.
Okay, no, I'm gonna wait till that thing pop. You know, I gotta know, what's one thing people got fucked up about JetDoc? What is something that they just got wrong? The misunderstanding.
Yeah, thank you, brother. The misunderstanding is that JetDoc is just for folks without insurance. That's the biggest piece of it.
Woo!
The thing is, really only 15% of people don't have insurance. Between Medicare, which is for older people, Medicaid is for folks with lower income, and then with Obamacare, they raised the income threshold, so it covers a lot more people. Then you have folks with private insurance in between.
Right.
So that's 85% of the population. The other 15% don't have insurance, right? JetDoc is perfect for them, no question. But the folks that have insurance, like you may have it, folks have high deductible insurance, they have high co-pays, so they don't want to use it. Insurance is supposed to encourage you to use it to prevent something catastrophic from happening to you later. But because it's high deductible, high copay, it discourages you from using it versus encouraging it. Because why would you use it if you got to pay every time? And it's super expensive. So people don't use insurance.
I was managing a restaurant, and I managed them for 7 years and made them successful. There was one point when I recognized that they didn't care about me. They only cared about my performance. And I had got a cold. I couldn't afford to go to the doctor because they wanted a $100 copay and they wanted medicine. And so I let that cold just dwindle. It became pneumonia. And then now I'm coughing, it's hurting. They had me stricken to a bed for 3 days, and my job was so upset that I wasn't there and I had pneumonia.
Yeah.
And it was, at that point, my bill ended up hitting $1,500.
Of course you did.
And that's with insurance.
Right.
And it's supposed to be the same insurance as the owners have.
That's right.
And that level of recognizing on where I'm at on the spectrum, it really allowed me to understand I gotta change the way I'm doing things. And then
you need JetDoc.
Oh yeah.
You need JetDoc because in that scenario you would have hit.
Now I'm Medicaid. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Well, you Medicaid. Medicaid is the best insurance money can't buy.
Come on.
So I had a Medicaid plan. So I had Medicaid to Medicare. That's what I just sold. Yeah, we were the best in the country.
Facts.